What's up, everybody? So first off, I want to congratulate you guys for joining the 10th Planet Long Island family. So we originally created this video with the idea of making you guys as comfortable as possible with joining the gym and kind of getting a groove going so you can start to experience the benefits of jiu-jitsu. So I want to congratulate you guys for taking that first step to bettering yourself, joining a community, and doing something good for your physical and mental health, and try something new. So especially if you're new to jiu-jitsu, there's gonna be, I'm not gonna lie, there's gonna be some struggle involved, but as we know, anything that we have to work hard for is certainly rewarding. So congrats and hats off to you. So to start off, we wanted to just inform you guys about what to expect, the class length, the structure of the classes, talk a little bit about the schedule, and then also the rules of the school. And these rules are put into play so that every person, whether you're a beginner or an advanced student, can come in and have the most enjoyable time possible while also reaping all the benefits that jiu-jitsu has for us. So the rules are definitely important in making sure the environment stays safe and that everyone can have fun and be productive. So the class length and structure will really determine on the skill level of the class. So odds are, if you're watching this video, you're new to the school and most likely a white belt. We'll get to the belt ranks a little bit later, but as a white belt, your job is to come on in and really just be a sponge and soak everything up and try and have the most fun that you could possibly have. So we know that, you know, doing something new sometimes isn't the most fun thing until you get a grasp over it, but just remember that you are here for a good time and to learn. So the class length are typically anywhere between 60 and 90 minutes, right? And we have three different types of classes. We have a fundamental class, which in my recommendation would be for you to really focus on those classes in your first month of jiu-jitsu. And I'm sure all of our instructors here at the school would recommend the same thing, right? And what this will really allow you to do is slowly warm your way up into the process of learning jiu-jitsu, right? And those fundamental classes are really focused on you learning your terminology, figuring out basic positions, and again, dipping your toes into the water of what jiu-jitsu is about, right? The more mixed level to advanced classes could go anywhere between the hour and 90 minutes, right? And those classes will typically have more live sparring versus just working technique, right? And regardless of which class you're coming to, you can expect the same structure throughout each three styles of classes. So whether it's a beginner, mixed level, or advanced class, you're gonna have a warm-up, you're gonna have some technique thrown in there, and then you're gonna have, depending on which class you come to, minimal to lots of live sparring, right? Our more advanced classes hold more space for live sparring because most of the students here coming to our advanced class already know lots of techniques. So we may browse through the technique portion a little bit faster in the adults class, but you as a beginner, as far as those fundamental classes go, you're gonna get a lot of techniques in those classes that you can spend a decent amount of time on and really make sure by the time you walk out of here, you've absorbed something. Regardless of which class you're coming to, the rules of the school are always gonna stay the same, okay? And it's really important for us, as I mentioned earlier, to create these boundaries because we want everyone to have a really safe, fun training environment that is beneficial for all of us, right? And I think the foundation of all of that is having respect for one another, right? So whether you're a white belt, you're a purple belt, you're a black belt, it really doesn't matter. Everyone tends to train with everybody and everyone needs to show respect for one another. Be kind, be compassionate, because it's that kind of environment where a lot of people, or all people for that matter, are gonna learn the best, right? And if we wanna create the best student and the best you, doing that on top of a foundation of compassion and understanding is really the goal, right? So that kind of brings us into creating the best learning environment, right? So when the teacher is instructing, right, those are the moments where everyone needs to be dialed in, right? So if you're off to the side and you're distracted and talking, say with a teammate or with a friend, while the instructor is speaking, then sometimes when, you know, we can speak a little loud and not realize, it can be a little distracting to the other students. So there's no talking while the instructor is teaching, right? That way everyone can absorb the information. Another thing is keeping the school clean, right? So jiu-jitsu is a pretty intimate sport and martial art. We are making lots of close contact, and obviously germs are gonna accumulate in a warm, moist environment. So coming to the school well showered with a clean uniform, and respecting the school and cleaning up after yourself is huge, because then the facility and the staff can really focus on what we're here to do, and that's not to clean, but to teach you guys jiu-jitsu, all right? And that brings us to our next topic of when you wear a clean uniform, we wanna make sure that that mat attire is correct, right? So something like I'm wearing would actually be perfect for your first class. Typically, we don't recommend a cotton t-shirt, but like a sport t-shirt that has like a polyester or a spandex or a combination of the both is really great, because cotton tends to be have a lot of friction, which can cause burns and stretch and ruin your clothes. And the last thing you'd like to do is wear a nice t-shirt and then get it ruined by the time you walk out of class. So gym shorts and an appropriate top, maybe a rash guard that you actually get for free for signing up as a first-time student. So you should be good to go as long as you wear that rash guard and you find yourself appropriate shorts. Then you know, you'll be ready for class. So you don't want to be that person walking on the mat, you know, with sauce stains all over your rash guard, and you were doing yard work in your shorts, and then you step on the mat, and it may not be the most pleasurable experience for your friends and your training partners. Especially if you plan on staying for 2 classes, which we wouldn't recommend in the beginning, but as you build a tolerance and a little bit of an endurance for jiu-jitsu, if you would like to stay for both classes, we make it a rule that everybody must bring an extra change of clothes. So you're not gonna train hard, sweat your butt off, and then stay for the next class in that same sweaty clothes. You would have to step off the mat, change your clothes, and then you can step back on with some fresh gear, okay? Also, as you're stepping off that mat, we wanna make sure that our mat space is our sanctuary, right? We wanna make sure we're not dragging any dirt from off the space onto the space, because as I mentioned before, we get close, we get intimate, we're rolling on these floors, so we wanna make sure they're as clean as possible, right? So having great respect for your training partners and appreciation for them, making sure that everyone can stay tuned in to the instructor while they're teaching. So while they're instructing, we ask everyone to try and stay as quiet as possible. We're keeping the school clean for not only yourself, but for everybody else, and that makes it so our staff can really give you the attention that you deserve on the mat space. And then just coming to class and having an open mind. So if you've trained in other martial arts, right, or you were a wrestler, or you were athletic your whole life, I think one of the best things to do when you try out your first jiu-jitsu class, or within your first month or 2 of jiu-jitsu, is to come with an empty cup and try and absorb as much information as you can, and don't consider anything right or wrong, or you know, add any extra thought into it, but try and be a student and really just try your best. And don't forget to have fun, because if you're not doing that, then things can get a little stale and you might not want to stick around for too long. So don't take it too serious. Make sure you ask lots of questions to your fellow classmates and more importantly, your instructors, so you can have the best time possible. Okay? These are all the rules of the school. What to expect when you come to class. Remember those 3 different class types, the fundamentals for you guys watching this video for the first time, our mixed level classes and advanced classes. Once again, congrats on joining the school and we look forward to training with you.